Hello guys, welcome back to Garage Football. Here's our live watch along for the round of 16 Euro 2020 clash between Wales and Denmark and the Johan Cruijff Arena in the Netherlands. So if you're new to Garage Football, please subscribe to us and let us know your match thoughts, comments, etc. in the live chat. It'd be great to read those throughout the game. So I'm joined by Adam, the Southern Scouser, Henry, who's a West Ham fan, and Wiz, who's a Chelsea fan. So thanks all for joining, lads. So Wiz, we'll start with you, mate. Your thoughts on this game between Wales and Denmark?
I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I've got visions of some kind of outrageous game from days past where there's loads and loads of goals, incredibly entertaining. And it sort of feels like the two neutrals' favourites in a way. They're sort of underdogs from the last Euros who did wonderful things. And obviously the amount of goodwill that there is now for Denmark, given what happened to Christian Eriksen, extraordinary. So I just want it to be a really amazing game full of like the passion that the side's kind of known for. And I hope there's lots of goals.
No, yeah, I totally agree, mate. Adam, your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's two teams that have really overcome the odds getting out the group stage. You know, you look at Denmark; they were really not for six, weren't they? Obviously, with what happened to Eriksen, ended up losing to Finland, losing to Belgium after leading, and then having to pretty much batter Russia to get through. And I looked at Wales's group, and Switzerland are always a last 16 kind of team, and Turkey were a lot of people's dark horses. So for both of them to get out of the group, I thought they both did really well. So, yeah, it should be a really intriguing game. It's hard to call, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think it's a real 50-50. You'd probably say on paper that the Denmark's team is slightly better. But, I mean, Wales have shown, obviously, in the Euros, the last Euros, and even this tournament, that backs against the wall, we never write them off. We'll talk about predictions to come. Got about 8 minutes or so to kick off. Henry, your thoughts on this game, mate? It's pretty evenly matched, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. I think Denmark have probably got a slightly better side, like we've sort of said, like in terms of the caliber of player, but the team spirit the Welsh camp have, you can never sort of underestimate it, especially what they did in the previous Euros. But the same you could say about Denmark, because with what happened with Christian, it's only going to bring the team further together. And I mean, with the leaders they've got in there, like Schmeichel and Højbjerg, they're going to really sort of bond together after what's happened. And we've seen that against Russia, and they played fantastically. So it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of the game, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're still waiting for the players to come out. I'll just go through the lineups quickly for both sides. So, as predicted, both teams have made their changes and playing their full strength team by the look of things. So we'll start with Wales. So Ward in goal, Roberts, Mepham, Roden, and Ben Davis, holding two of Morel and Allen. And then the attacking trio of Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, and Dan James, and Kiefer Moore is up front. So for Denmark, looks like 3-4-3. Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Christensen, Kjær, and Vestergaard. Midfield four of Striker, Larsen, Højbjerg, Delaney, and Mahele. And then the front with Braithwaite, Damsgaard, and Dolberg. So thoughts on those lineups, Emery?
I mean, they both sound they're pretty sort of what you're going to expect from the teams, but I'm really excited to see Damsgaard play again for Denmark. The goal he scored against Russia was just unbelievable. It seemed to sort of hang in the air, but it was so well placed. The goalie just didn't get a chance. So I had a look at him. Didn't really know who he was before the game, but had a look at him. He looks really, really bright young talent. So looking forward to see how Wales try to deal with him. Especially like players like Joe Rodon. They're going to be so important at the back for Wales in this game. So I think it's just going to be an interesting sort of clash of two sort of quite different styles as well. So
yeah,
game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously, I think Wales will sort of sit, men behind the ball and play on the counter. Obviously, got the incredible pace of Dan James, as we've seen for Wales, and obviously his fleeting appearances for Man United, and obviously we know the quality shown over the years in national shirt for Wales and club level with Gareth Bale and obviously Aaron Ramsey as well, and someone like Danny Ward, who doesn't even play for Leicester. He's been a revelation for Wales in this tournament. So he's going to be tested. He's going to have to play his best again if they're going to stay in it. I think for Denmark, a big miss is Yusuf Poulsen, who's missing today. He must be injured. He's got a couple of goals. So I think Dalberg's in his place. I think it'll be a miss, but still got quality players Denmark throughout. So Adam, your thoughts on those two lineups?
Yeah, I mean, I look at Denmark's lineup, and Christensen, Kjær, Vestergaard, and Schmeichel. That back four is pretty strong with a Højbjerg and Delaney in front of it. So it's it's going to be down to what Ramsey and Bale can do to break that down. And as I say, they've overcome the odds before. They've had some decent results in the group stages, but Denmark look like, you know, they've hit form at the perfect time as well. So as you mentioned, it's a different type of style. You know, you've got Denmark with the back three with wing backs, and then you've got Wales with the straight back four, but a midfield three with, you'd probably think Bale will push pretty high, you know, towards Moore, and Ramsey and James will be pulling quite wide. So very, very difficult to call. I think Denmark probably are going to be the favourites just, but, you know, like you say, that the first goal in this game could be crucial for me.
Oh, no, I totally agree, mate. The players are out on the pitch going for the national anthems as we speak. So, Wiz, just quickly, your thoughts on who do you think is going to be key players for both sides today?
I really like the guy who was playing left wing back today for Denmark, and I thought he was really, really good in the last game. I think it's pronounced Marla or Mailer. I think he looks really good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're number 5, we'll say.
Yeah, I think he normally plays in a kind of this super progressive Atalanta side. I think he normally plays on the right, but Gosens plays on the left there. But yeah, he looked really exciting in the last game, I thought. And I would highlight Wald as well, because I think Denmark are pretty good going forward, and I think Meppe and Roden have been amazing. And Joel Wald in the Swiss game, where the Wales were extremely poor, really kept them in that. So I think he could have a say today.
No, 100%. Wales just singing their national anthems now, so about 4 minutes so the kickoff. So quickly, lads, let's go for our score predictions. Wiz, we'll start with you, mate, on this one.
I'll go wild. I'm going to go something crazy. Wales 4-3 in extra time.
Oh,
What start to knockout stages that would be? Adam, are you as optimistic as that?
That'd be brilliant. I'm thinking a little bit more close, but I think Denmark will nick it 2-1 in normal time.
In normal time, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's Christ, yes, extra time, isn't it, as well? Yeah. Henry?
I think it's going to be Denmark 3-1.
Yeah,
now that might be being kind to Wales. I think Denmark just have too much sort of player for player. But with Bale and Ramsey, I can see Wales getting one. So I think Denmark are just going to have a bit too much for them.
Yeah, I think there'll be hopefully there'll be a few chances for both sides. I think they in a way might cancel each other out. So I think it's going to be a score draw. I'm going to go 2-2, and I think it'll go all the way to penalties.
Oof.
Which wouldn't be a bad start to the knockout stages. So
absolute scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially in Wales, obviously, if they get the win. But no, it's always good to have. It's probably a 50-50, or maybe Denmark 55-45. Do you know what I mean? But when it comes to the knockout stages, as we've seen a number of times, obviously Wales in the last Euros, I don't think many expected them to get to the semi-finals. And do you know what? I wouldn't put out the possibility for them, or even Denmark, to do the same thing.
Could Wales get further than England again? Quite possibly.
Possibly, yeah. Especially with England's draw. Obviously, we've got Germany on Tuesday, so yeah, I think it's
got an easy draw.
Wales have got the easier game, but yeah, no, I think you know. So Gareth Bale on Kier.
Lots of emotion in the Welsh crowd.
Yeah, no, I think it's a shame for Wales. Obviously, they haven't got any fans at the Johan Cruijff Arena. Denmark have got quite a few by the look of things. So I think a few of the Denmark players play in the Netherlands, I think, already. So they'll have the majority of support. But I mean, this Welsh side, as they've shown at this Euros, they've played in Baku, haven't they? Like Azerbaijan for a number of games, and the backs against the wall, and especially in the Switzerland game, where I think as you said, Wiz, Danny Ward was man of the match and kept them in it, and that point in the end was vital, wasn't it? So I don't think this game will phase Wales at all.
It's going to be a midfield battle. Is going to be interesting, isn't it? You've got Højbjerg and Delaney, lots of experience in there for Denmark, and Wales have got Joe Allen of Stoke and Joe Morel of Luton, which is my local team. So big gap in quality in that midfield for me.
Yeah. I think Højbjerg is with the shackles let off compared to the regime he was under with Mourinho, looks like he wants to be everywhere, can do everything. He's a much less limited player for Denmark than he is for his club.
I agree.
Well, let's see how it performs today. So we're about to get underway. Me, Henry, and Wiz will be at the same time, and Adam will be about a minute behind watching it on the player. So
Yeah.
and here we go. We are officially underway. So Wales playing in their traditional red shirts, came from left to right in this first half, and Denmark already on the attack. Or they got to get that one. Oh, he does. I think it's Mepham. I think it might have been back in the side. Yeah, it was Mepham, number 22. He had to win that one.
I'm looking forward to the Barcelona forward versus Real Madrid forward, of Braithwaite versus Bale.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird saying Braithwaite's a Barcelona player.
It's a strange one. Will Bale be a Madrid player next year? There's rumours it might be retiring after the Euros, which seems crazy, but strong rumours.
Yeah, but
Focus on that golf career.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Bale because I think football's not really high on his priorities. I've got to say he's got enough money, and the injuries have probably, and obviously the experience with Zidane at Madrid have probably scarred him in a way.
Yeah, maybe they meant retire from Wales. I'm not sure, but I'd be amazed if he didn't carry on in some form. He's way too good to stop right now.
Denmark having a better start here.
I don't see why he'd walk away from his contract with Real Madrid either.
It's 1 more year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ancelotti, I think, wants to use him quite a lot next year at Madrid. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly does happen with him.
Yeah, that might change things. If Zidane was still there, I think Bale would do everything to not be at Madrid.
Yeah,
I agree with you there.
But he's hard to get appreciated in Madrid, though, isn't it? I think I'm trying
to... Even Ronaldo's not amazingly popular.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be building a statue the moment he left for him with the contribution he made. Not a great Ronaldo or Madrid fan, but Bale scored the winner in 2 Champions League finals, didn't he? The winning goal. So
don't remind me. Oh dear. No, it's a weird one when they got rid of Ronaldo, wasn't it? I know they got 100 million, which was what they paid for him all those years ago. But...
James got his touch right. He was in then. I think that's what Wales are looking for. Just those half spaces for James to run into. If he gets full throttle, no one's catching up with him. I don't care how fast the Denmark defence run. They're not catching him at all.
That's definitely one weakness of Denmark, isn't it? You look at their back line; it's not the quickest for sure. Vestergaard, Christensen.
No, pretty solid players.
Just lacking pace.
Vestergaard's been so improved at Southampton. He looked so dodgy when he first joined them, but he's one of the better centre halves outside the top clubs, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely love Christensen, but he's largely been best playing at the centre of the 3 when he's played for us under Antonio Conte and Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, did you see his goal against Russia the other day? That's absolutely
unbelievable goal.
Yeah, that was like Alan Partridge's striker, wasn't it? That was a quality goal.
Did you see that? He must have a foot like
Exactly. Yeah. Bit better from Wales' last minute or so. Bit of possession they're keeping. You'd expect that obviously Wales to stay disciplined and keep men behind the ball like they've done in the majority of the games. But when they do get it forward, they've got to make the quality count. They've got a chance here with a free kick. And obviously Kiefer Moore, he scored in the Switzerland game, and he'll be a threat from these set pieces for sure.
Yeah, you'd think set pieces and counter attacks would be all what Wales are looking at. Really, best chances of scoring a goal.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, and if we could get Bale and Ramsey around the penalty area, anything's possible.
Definitely.
I mean, they had their moments against Italy. They did have their moments. A big chance for Bale by his standards.
Ball comes in. Oh, that could have gone anyway. Is that a corner? Looks like it is a corner. God, bit Mepham went close there. Might have been Kier who cleared that one. Let's have a look on the replay. Ball comes in. Good ball in. No offside, I don't think. So that could have gone anywhere. I think Alan's about to take this free kick. Ball comes in. Good header clear.
Is it me, or does that moral look a bit like Gerard Deulofeu?
He doesn't play like him.
I haven't seen him up close. I'll let you know, Henry, when I see him up close. I can have an assessment.
It's strange when he couldn't get in the team at Luton Town. Yeah, he plays every game for Wales.
Yeah,
I find it really weird that like Brooks is on the bench. Like when he was so good at Bournemouth. Obviously, I know he had his injury issues, but he seemed like he was going to be a real top player in the Premier League when he came up, and then sort of his injury just sort of really hampered him.
Yeah, but a good option to have on the bench. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. No, decent opening 5 minutes. No real chances, but both teams that have settled pretty well, I'd say. Oh, it's stayed there. It's Brathwaite on it. Waiting for support. Ball comes in. Well cleared.
Don't touch it.
Yeah. Had to leave that one. Still got it, Denmark. Got it on the right. Back into midfield. Kier's got it out the back. Plays it forward.
Who would you say is the best player on the pitch at the moment? Like, if there was anyone on that pitch you could have in your team, who would it be?
The cross. Well, it's a great shout, mate.
I think I would go Bale.
I think
There's things that there's a reason he costs that money, and it's sort of for everything he can't do. It's that ability to pick the ball up out on the right hand side or central on a fairly regular basis, smash it in from 30 yards, and those kind of special things. And especially when you see it against Italy as well, the kind of movement, the kind of experience. I think he's a player for those moments, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the MVP on the pitch.
Yeah, I'd probably say, maybe him or Ramsey, I'd say.
You won't see much of Ramsey lately. He doesn't seem to be putting up any trees in Italy.
No, he scored again. He scored the vital goal against Turkey. I think it was the opener. He missed a couple beforehand, and then Bale put one over the top, and he'd have buried it. So
for his club, I've just not seen him hit any heights. It's a shame. He's a top player. Could be doing more.
That's a shot. First shot of the game in anger from Dolberg. I think it was in the side today, but way wide.
And if they're looking to do that again, well, I mean, just from that kind of penultimate attack there, I think Denmark was really, really high. So it's going to be probably more trying to draw the centre backs out, and then maybe Ramsey on the run, James with the pace. They could catch him.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm kind of glad I've got it on mute because, I assume it's Robbie Savage doing the commentary. So I don't feel we're missing that much today, I've got to be honest.
God, he's got to be the worst commentator out there, isn't he?
Well, I mean, to be honest, mate, there's a good few that are vying for that spot, I have to say. There's enough jockers for this championship. Oh, Bell's on the run here. We've been talking about him. Good run, trying to get on his left. Crossing at the back. Still got it. It's hard to know who's got it because the camera angle's so far out. Bell's still got it. I think Roberts is in support. Bell crosses it. Oh, it's cleared. Good early signs for Gareth Bale. He had the run on Mahale, I think it was, or Vestergaard down that left.
Yeah, just what we were talking about earlier. I think the kind of question marks about that pace at the back for Denmark. And he's not quite the kind of steam train he once was, but he's still got a turn of pace on him.
Exactly. Here he is again, Bell. Opens up for a shot. Oh, just wide. Cool.
He's good
at that. By Gareth Bale. Space just opened up for him. If it opens up and there's nothing on, have a shot. Vestergaard's, I think he's marking James. Good run by James to. Oh, yeah, Schmeichel's panicking about that one. Robert Page there, the interim manager. He knows that was close. I've
got to say, when I watched the first game, I really feared for Wales because just so many things seemed out of whack. I wasn't sure why they would took James off late because he was the main outlet by a distance against Switzerland. And then the marking of Mbolo on set pieces, like Joe Allen, who's about 5 foot and a fag end, against him, who's absolutely an absolute beast. And I did think, I fear for him a little bit if that's how they're set up, but much better in the other 2 group games.
Well, that's the thing about that first game is if you can't win it, don't lose it, and for getting the draw, especially in that opening game where they weren't at their best. Good ball over the top by Bale. James is going to get on the end of that one. Christensen up against him. Back to James on the left. Ball comes in.
Oh, around.
Oh, shot. Oh, 6 and the 7s at the back. It might have been Ramsey with the shot there.
Just couldn't get a clean strike on it.
No. Good positive signs from Wales. I'd say this opening 10, I think they've had the better of the things. Better play, I'd say.
I agree. So is Ryan Giggs planning to come back then at some point?
Well, I mean, it's a bit hard to sort of say what's happening with obviously his court case and all that.
Yeah.
So, I think it just depends on that.
I didn't know it was interim. I thought we might have replaced him permanently. I wasn't sure.
Well, I mean, if he goes on and gets to the semi, they might say to Ryan Giggs, "You be the assistant, swap roles, maybe." Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, he's doing a good job on the page.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you say, if he gets past this round, then it's hard to not make him permanent manager, surely.
Possession again from Wales is Bale. Roberts is on his right, if you can find him. Cuts inside. Going on the run again, shoots. That's wide on that occasion. Nice early touches from Bale. Good signs for the Welsh skipper.
Yeah, I didn't think Wales would have this much possession. Denmark are sort of right back in their own half, aren't they? Wales dominating it at the moment.
So it was just in the replay. It was Ramsey with that shot that was well blocked by Akir, the Denmark captain, and showing that first Bale effort that just went wide of Schmeichel's post. But yeah, Adam, I agree, mate. I didn't think Wales would have this much of the ball, especially early on. And but no, they've made the most of it so far. So fair play to them.
Absolutely.
You never know when you're going to get in a knockout game, but I think both sides, there could be goals on it, I'd say, which obviously we hope for, particularly Witt's been a 4-3, 7-goal thriller. But no, I think sometimes it could be, players can be nervous, could be cagey or whatever, but especially from the Welsh point of view, doesn't seem to be that way so far. It's a foul on Moore on Højbjerg, who was one of the better players for Tottenham in the season just gone. Not that that's saying much, to be honest, but he's well coming from Southampton. Still
without a manager, somehow.
Honestly, I think, you think Arsenal will bank their FC. I think Tottenham might be superseding that with their search for a manager. They shouldn't have sacked Pochettino. That's something right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Didn't back him and backed him for not improving on previous results.
Exactly.
I'm amazed they haven't gone and kicked down Potter's door. I think Westy. I'm slightly obsessed with him, but I just think every time I watch Brighton, I think, what's he doing there? No one gone and got him.
Oh, he's Bale. Edge of the box. Ramsey shoots, blocked.
Ooh.
Comes and collects that one.
Potter's quite happy at Brighton at the moment.
I was going to say him because you worked down there, didn't you?
Yeah. I work at the local paper, so the sports guys speak to Barber quite a lot, and Barber's got absolutely no interest in letting Graham Potter leave.
No,
so they don't need like the money that they'd potentially get in terms of Tottenham paying his contract off. Especially with Ben White maybe going, I don't think it's not as far gone as some of the reports have said in terms of his move to Arsenal, but also Bissouma is also one that could potentially leave. So they could at the start of next month be able to say to Potter, look, here's 80 million quid on top of your original transfer budget. Go buy the striker you want that can finally score all the chances you create.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Potter seems fairly happy down here. I would be surprised if a team like Tottenham did come for him and he was interested in it, because it is a much bigger team than Brighton. But I think it wouldn't be an easy pull, I think, especially with how well backed Potter is in Brighton.
I was going to say, he won't have the power he does at Brighton.
No, exactly. And
I think Tottenham will go for Nuno Espirito Santo anyway, by the sound of it.
Also, like, the Tottenham job at the moment is such a poisoned chalice. If you're comfortable at a club where you know you're backed, why would you leave to go to Tottenham? Like, where they're going to
especially as Kane might leave and maybe others as well. Yeah,
because going to Tottenham, the main pull would be being able to manage Harry Kane, having arguably the best number 9 in the country. And then if you go there and he's gone, not really that caliber of player there, other than maybe Heung-min Son. But then, like, your captain Hugo Lloris, he's getting on a bit. Alderweireld's getting on. It's a huge job to take on at Tottenham. Like, the Palace job seems massive compared to whoever has to go in because of all the players going out. But you look at that as you've got a blank canvas, really. Whereas the Tottenham job is you have to sort of manage aging stars that weren't what they were, and also fill the void of Harry Kane. Like, near on impossible job. Really,
it won't be easy for anyone whoever takes over. Yeah, without a doubt.
And you wonder how it would translate. You want Potter to have a blank canvas and be completely backed because of what he's done at Brighton. And you wonder a bit with Bielsa, if you get all those egos and that, especially that age in defence, you sort of think, are they up to playing that way anymore? You know,
exactly. Especially the level they need to be at, right? Rather than like Potter going from Brighton to going to competing for top 6, top 5, top 4 is a much different challenge. So getting them to play at the level that he needs them to play at is a whole different thing that he's used to, really.
I think I might be slightly controversial, but I don't actually think Potter's done anything that special. I think he comes 16th, 17th. It's no better than they were before.
It's so much more than that, though. It's so much more than that.
It's a result business, though, isn't it? Like you say,
no, of course, 100% it's a results business. I 100% agree with that. But with the team now, there's so much more potential to push on.
But they haven't.
Well, no, because they're getting to that place. He's made.
Shot comes in. Oh, easy save.
Sorry, he's made a huge.
James cut in there. I thought he was going to rifle one in, but just shot straight at Schmeichel.
He's made a huge philosophical change in the entire club. Like, from basically where they were slightly glamorous Stoke of a big tall back 4-5 with Lewis Dunk in it and Duffy, he's now got them playing an incredibly good brand of football where they are picking up decent results. It's
not a lot. It's not
like watching them regularly. I don't understand how they finish where they do if they just had a striker that could put the ball in the net. It's amazing. You'd see your team like Liverpool have a game where how have we not scored in that game?
Too many times this season.
Yeah, but it's like that every single game, and you if
chance
the manager went in, it wouldn't change it. They wouldn't if they sacked him and got an Allardyce.
Oh no,
they wouldn't improve or something like that. It's almost like they just need that striker that can finish.
Yeah, that's the problem with Brighton, though, isn't it? You know, they're one player away from it, possibly, but then, like you mentioned, Ben White and Bissouma might leave in the same summer, and they're still treading water again, aren't they?
Ben White won't be a massive miss for Brighton, believe it or not. Like, in terms of the defence, Webster and Dunk were better defenders than him this season. Like, in terms of defending, they're solid for Brighton, in their system. Ben White's a great player, progressing the ball. But yeah, obviously, replacing them still be challenging. Yeah. But it's not
money, have they, to replace them with?
Yeah, but I think I'll back them to be able to go get another solid defender that can replace Ben White. Bissouma will be the trickier one of getting a player of his quality to go to Brighton, if that makes sense. You can sell Bissouma for £60 million, but you can't buy a £60 million.
They're not interested in that level, are they?
Yeah.
It's a bit like Arteta, isn't it? Everyone says Arsenal play so much better football, yet they finish lower than they ever have. So you've got to be careful with both sides of things. Results.
He's become more pragmatic. He's had to become more pragmatic for that side. But then you look on paper at the players they've got, and I'd rather watch Brighton every day and they create a lot. They simply do the basic things that ordinarily, when you watch a side, you go, "Oh, they're good," because they don't concede tons of chances really, and they create a lot. And it is, I think, I'm thinking about starting a super group with Neil Morpay and Timo Werner in, called Everything But the Goal. In positionally, everything else, they are great, but they just bluff their lines a little bit. I mean, I love Timo, but I think he's been good apart from the goal scoring, which is kind of quite important for his position. But I would say Neil Morpay is much the same. I sort of wonder whether he might just, one will come in. It's old cliche, but one will go in off his backside, and then he'll push on from there. Because positionally, everything else he's doing great, I think. But I love that Brighton side. I think they're really good.
Great to see Danny Welbeck playing again.
Yeah. Never really seemed to sort of, for all his talent, never seemed to, for whatever reason, fulfill it at the other kind of.
Injuries haven't helped him.
Yeah.
He's got the quality, and even when he played for England, I think he was probably better for England than he has been for his clubs.
I don't know his goals to game, but
he was a good international striker. Welbeck. He always seemed to pop up something.
That goal, that winner, I think it was the winner, or one of the goals he scored against Sweden in 2012, the Euro 2012, was absolutely unreal. The back heel goal he scored.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Sorry, my dog is trying to get me.
Denmark had a bit of the ball last few minutes. No one-on-ones or anything, but they've more of a threat than they have in the rest of the sort of opening 21 minutes.
Yeah, the game's settled down a little bit now. Less easy to just play straight through the midfield. A bit more compact.
Yeah, I think we're going to see this throughout the game where, maybe Wales will be on top for 5 minutes in Denmark, because I don't think there's a huge. If you look at the lineups, we've said who's the best player, and they're all, most of them are equally as talented. There's no. I think both sides have. As we mentioned before the game, and as proven so far, there's not much between them at all.
It's going to go in waves, isn't it? Wales have had their kind of crazy and energetic start, and Denmark kind of just see what they have, and now they're prepared to come out a bit more and have a go and see what Wales have made of.
I don't know whether that's just the characteristic of international tournament football, and I've forgotten about it because it seems like it's been so long. But that seems to have been a lot of the games. I think you go, actually, this has turned and it's gone back, and then I'm thinking about the games involving Germany in particular and England's games.
Denmark, ball comes in. That's well. Or unless is that a delayed offside? They take like 6 years to put the flag up.
So annoying when they do that.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Looks. No, it's on. Yeah, it looks on. I think it was Delaney. I think it was number 8. He got him behind there. Good cross, but Robert said that for the corner.
He's got a rip in his jumper, the Denmark manager, under his armpit.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he's got a little rip in his jumper.
Striker's going to take this corner. And a few of these lost a few minutes. Denmark comes in right-footed. Middle of the goal. Goal kick. Well challenged by the Welsh defence there. I think it was Vestergaard who headed it over. And this first quarter of this game is absolutely flown by halfway through the first half.
Penalties, here we come.
Penalties. I've still got a chance of 4-3 in extra time. So.
I thought it was 4-3 and then 90 minutes.
Oh no, in extra time.
Oh, in extra. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes that okay. Yeah.
Much more sensible.
Well, the stats have just come up. There's been 10 shots between both sides already, but only the one on target so far for Wales, which was that simple effort by James that's straight at the goalkeeper Schmeichel. That's good. They went up the pitch, Wales. Oh, James can't get on there.
Oh, it's clear, Paul. Is it Joe Rodon?
I think it might be, yeah. He put his shirt, was it? Yeah, he's got a yellow, yeah. Number 6, Tottenham defender.
So many of these players on this pitch have been linked to West Ham at some point in their career.
Which side, Wales or Denmark?
Oh, both. Like
Both.
most of the time,
Rodon being one of them.
Rodon, Metham definitely has been linked. Joe Allen, he's been linked. Aaron Ramsey's been linked. Couple of the Danish players, like every striker on the pitch probably has. Myler, the fullback, the wing back, he was linked at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for West Ham, it's more who haven't we been linked with?
Shorter list.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think West Ham will make much difference and changes in the summer, or do you think they're going to stick with what's worked this season?
Well, I don't know. Under our owners, I think. It depends if we could get Lingard permanently, a couple other strong signings, and could be in for a good season. But last time we were in usually the Europa League sort of playoffs, it was we brought in a load of, as Henry will agree, we had brought in a load of absolute rubbish, like 7 or 8 players who most of them didn't last. Well, they only lasted a full season, like Zaza and Kaleri, all those kind of guys. Shot comes in. Oh, what's up? Dolberg with the goal.
Wow.
Great strike outside the box.
What an effort that is. Adam, it's worth the minute wait, my friend.
I'll look forward to it. I'm ready.
Coming for the injured Poulsen. My God, what a goal that was.
Poulsen loved that with his baseball cap on backwards in the stands there. Loved it.
Denmark fans going wild, and rightly so. They've been the better side last sort of 5 minutes or so, coming back into it. And a good move in the end, plays it behind the Welsh midfield. Gets it just outside the box, curling effort, and Danny Ward have got no chance. That is right in the corner. Curls it around Rodon. Oh, Jesus, that is a sensational effort.
Brilliant. The pass from Marler there. The pass from Marler as well beats about 4 Wales players. I mean, everyone will concentrate on the finish rightly. And I was just thinking, he's kind of stopped. He was a hot name, Kasper Dolberg. And then sort of, actually, that wasn't Dolberg, sure. I thought it was Dolberg. Who's that?
He got the wrong move out of Ajax when he went to Nice.
Yeah.
Dolberg.
Unbelievable. Have you seen it yet, Adam?
Yeah, literally just now.
worth the wait, wouldn't it, mate?
That was a great goal. Really, really good goal. Cuts inside.
Goal check. What's this for?
Oh, no. I hope not.
Oh, no way.
Oh, no. It's been given. I wonder what they would. I don't know if it was. No, it can't be offside. I don't know what they were checking because offside was in the equation. So, anyway, goal stands and unbelievable effort by Dolberg to give Denmark the lead.
The VAR was so good during the competition.
Yeah, the Premier League have fucked it for themselves.
It showed how poorly we've managed it.
Yeah, we talk about being arrogant and trying to do it your own way instead of following what UEFA have done over the past sort of 2-3 seasons or whatever. We've tried to do it our own way, and that's why it's shit.
It's a mess.
I bet they saw like the criticism that it got at the World Cup when they brought it in. But when you actually go and look at all the decisions that happened in the World Cup, none of them were wrong. Like, you always think of who's the player from? I think it's Amrabat doing like the VAR. It's rubbish, like it's throwing down the camera. But it's like, but you were offside.
Yeah,
it wasn't actually a goal. Obviously, he's angry because the goal's been disallowed, but it was the right decision. And we've just decided, we're going to bring it in, but we're also going to change a couple other little things, like the handball rules last year. And they just decided to change way too much too quickly.
Oh, yeah. And in this competition, we haven't had to wait 2 years for an offside to be given or not given.
It's gone with it, didn't they?
Wrong. Ridiculous.
Yeah, agreed.
Turns out they were checking offside. Obviously, Dolberg was nowhere near offside. I think Braithwaite was in the line of vision, I think, but he was on anyway.
Not enough,
it didn't matter. So I thought, what? Dolberg was nowhere near offside. I thought, what are they checking? But no, checking for Braithwaite, and he was on.
Am I right in saying Dolberg used to play in this stadium? Was he at Ajax for a spell?
Yeah, I think that's where he came through.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
So he's used to scoring here.
Damsgaard almost scoring another worldie if it wasn't offside there.
Yeah. Good ball forward here was off. I mean, that goal from Dolberg, I mean, Danny Ward, we mentioned him a lot already, and he's been in brilliant form for Wales, and it had to be a great strike to beat him because he got nowhere near it, even though Dad full length for it.
Yeah, it's right in the side netting corner, wasn't it? Brilliant finish.
Yeah, no, brilliant goal. Yeah, and it was, and Wiz is right. The move beforehand was excellent. I was just saying, Wiz, that Dolberg's effort. I mean, it had to be a brilliant strike because Danny Ward for Wales has been probably their best player in this tournament.
Yeah, and it's a little bit one way.
Not the best pass from there though.
Yeah, not so much. No. Just focus on your perlers from outside the box.
That was he's never been mistaken for Ederson. No, exactly. I mean, I think it was the finish was fantastic. I think it was a really, really. You think where it starts out on the left there, it's a really incisive, quick move. You know, quite hard to defend against that. So, yeah, hard to find things they could have done.
Yeah, I mean,
I love when people just praise the goal for a goal rather than going, "Oh, well, the defense should have done this or anything." It's like, no, just
they're in again. Chance!
That's just hit it
again.
Oh, Dolberg's just throwing himself around.
Yeah.
There's a chance. I think if it's a foul or for offside, it might have been, or foul on the opponent.
Have you seen anyone in this tournament you fancy for West Ham?
Plenty. Anyone that's actually a striker.
Yeah.
We don't have one. Dolberg. There you go.
Yeah, I'll take Dolberg after that effort. Fucking hell.
Well, where is he now? He's playing in front. Nice, is he in or something?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like the Damsgaard from Denmark. I think he's a really good young player. I can't think actually where he is at the moment. I think it might be Sam Florida.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but like he seems really good. But yeah, like it's tricky because we've got a really good first 11. It's almost like we can't buy another central midfielder that will improve the starting 11 because we're not going to drop Souček or Rice, but it's a position we really need backup in. So it's a difficult, almost with Tottenham trying to buy a striker to play backup to Harry Kane and being like, we need you to be this good, but you're not going to play, really.
I think what we've got to do, Henry, is especially like centre midfielder, as you say, if we can't buy someone first team quality, which is going to be hard to dislodge of Rice and Souček, is buy up and coming young talent, even if it's from the Championship.
Oh yeah, 100%. That seems to be what we're doing at the moment. Is buying we've signed 4 people this summer, but you wouldn't have known who any of them are.
Yeah, didn't we sign the defender in January as well? He was on the bench a few times.
Alves.
Yeah,
Alves.
Yeah.
He's Danish. I'm pretty sure, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's supposed to be pushing for the first team next season, apparently, according to sources that have podcasts and Patreon.
They're friends of ours. X and Dave.
Yeah. They've said like he could be pushing like the first team next season.
Well, there we are then.
Which is weird because like the main thing I've probably heard about him since he signed is that he got sent off in one of like the development games. But I guess as a centre back, you're not really going to hear like, oh, we put in like a really good defensive performance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But speaking of defence, Wales have got to be on their goal because even before the goal, Denmark's starting to get on top, and they've got to keep it to at least 1-0 Wales because if they go 2-0 down, it's going to be a big ask to come back in this game.
Yeah, I did think the first goal would be important, like I said before the game, and Wales did have that early sort of dominance spell, didn't they? And they just couldn't quite find a way to break the deadline. But Leicester's number 1 against Leicester's number 2, isn't it, in terms of goalkeepers?
Yeah. I think Danny Ward's put himself in the shop window to get a number 1 spot somewhere.
Yeah. We was at Liverpool for a little. I think we got £12 million for him somehow.
Wow.
It's been worth that in this tournament so far.
Yeah, no, agree.
Well,
he's
I don't know whether
too good to just sit on the bench every week, isn't he?
Liverpool's
Well,
so
12 million as well.
Yeah, we literally
Yeah.
so many like
Like,
Bruce Solanke, 40 million. Madness. They don't never even scoring Premier League goals, and we get 20 million for each of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, but didn't Bruce? He didn't score a goal for Sheffield United last season, didn't he?
No, I don't know why he was worth 20 million.
No, it's not
It's because of like the potential he had during like the under 21 World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was
it under 20 World Cup winners or something? Or
he got like the golden boot, so he had all that sort of.
Yeah, but it's not proper football, is it?
Delaney crosses it. Oh, Ward drops it. Oh, he asked a foul.
Oh.
Classic keeper gets a foul when they jump in the air. I think it probably was on that occasion.
Yeah, Lloris wasn't quite so lucky, was he? When he thumped someone in the head the other day against Germany, was it?
Oh yeah.
Nah.
Or Portugal, was it Portugal? Yeah. Against Carvalho, I think he gave away a pen, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's better than what Dubravka did the other day.
I was trying to explain it to my son, trying to work out how that happened.
Well,
we used that after Roberto.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. He's usually Dubravka is pretty underrated in terms of Premier League.
Oh, I really like it. I think it's a great goal.
Yeah, but he had an absolute shock. I don't know what he was doing there.
Yeah.
It was one of them. If you had that on the Football Manager, you'd restart the game because it's glitch in the Matrix or something. That's how bad it was.
Awful.
That was poor. A bit of possession for Wales. They need to keep hold of the ball for the next few minutes because Denmark have sort of run them ragged last few minutes. Here's Bell tries to find more. I think it was, but intercepted.
The thing is, Denmark getting out a goal means they can just drop that defence, and then all of Wales' speed is just useless against it if they're that big.
That's why I felt Wales needed the first goal, like you say, because then they can hit Denmark on the counter. But now Denmark have got the lead. They're just going to, with that back three already, there's no need to come out from that at all, is there?
Yeah, they're going to have to, yeah. I mean, the only... Oh, good ball, was it? No, it goes out. I think, yeah, if it counts Wales in the second half, they'd have to just, I think, press up the front a little bit more and try and win the ball in the middle of the park and then attack the space from there rather than sit deep because, as you guys mentioned, Denmark don't really need to come out and play now, do they?
No.
I think Roberts has definitely pulled something there.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Right. This is groin.
Groin.
Off his groin immediately. Yeah, I think that's his game over, unfortunately for him.
Could be the tournament.
Possibly, yeah. We never know. Might be a... well, you never know. It might be okay, but the times where when a player is screaming in pain and he hasn't even touched the ground, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
A couple of subs warming up for Wales. No surprise.
Well, Nico Williams played in the last Riverhill.
Is he on the bench, is he?
Yeah, no, they've got the experienced campaign and Chris Gunther as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's been around for about 1 million years, Chris Gunther.
Yeah.
He's only in his early 30s. he's been around for centuries.
Surprised he's not in the team. Yeah, he's can't be far off 100 caps for Wales, can he? Surely.
I think, I'll have a look at him now. I think he's got over 100, I think.
Wow. Fair play. Surprised that Nico Williams and him aren't in the first 11.
You can't drop Ben Davis, can you?
No, true. True that.
He's got 102.
Wow.
Gunther, yeah.
Oh, I knew it was around there.
Yeah, 31. Very underrated. Great options off the bench.
So is Gunter right back or left back, or is he one of them that play both?
I think he's more of a right back, but I think anyway.
Nico Williams is as well, so I thought they might have had at least one of them in the team.
Okay,
Davies can play.
I think Williams played for it against Italy. I think he played on the left because Davis was on the yellow along with Mepham and Moore. So that's why they were on the bench. I mean, that's another ridiculous rule that UEFA brought in, where it's 2 yellows in the group stage. You miss the game. That's just a joke.
Silly, isn't it? Fair enough, a red card, but a couple of yellows in the group seems a bit extreme.
I don't agree with it. What did you guys make of the Moore's been booked for a challenge? A couple of Welsh players. That's Roden and Moore now have been booked. And what do you guys make of the the rule that was brought in for not this tournament but the last year? Was the four of the best first place teams, they qualify for they've created around the 16 UEFA. It used to be you'd go out of the group stage and then you'd get into the quarters. But what do you make of the third place rule? What do you make of it?
It's a weird one, isn't it? It almost makes the group stages a bit of a waste of time. We only really lose 8 teams or so, don't we? So
Yeah,
it's a lot of games for not a lot of reason. All these teams playing each other, and they're all going to go through anyway. So I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? You've gone from having 16 teams, 4 groups of 4, straight into a quarter final, and I understand they want to make it bigger, more games, more money, etc. But maybe they're wanting to make it 32, and 24 is an in between step.
Yeah,
it just loses all the jeopardy out of the group stage. The fact you can have a team that sort of lost 2 games but picked up like 1 result and they go through. I know obviously you occasionally get like the teams that sort of draw every game and somehow get through because they've got like the goal difference and stuff like that, but it does sort of take a lot of the sort of glamour away from it. Nothing, and it's nothing against like the teams that you wouldn't expect to be there getting there, because I love an underdog getting there. I was already a West Ham fan. It's the whole point of being a West Ham fan is you don't actually ever expect to do anything well. But it does, they should have just increased the amount of teams in the groups, I think, and then said, okay, well, the top 3 will go through, but we're going to have 5 teams in each group, and then the bottom 2 go out.
Yeah, you could have had 4 groups of 6.
Or maybe more groups if it comes to it. But, I mean, I think it was a bit of a. That's why probably Portugal have got a little asterisk against their win in 2016, where they didn't even win in the group stage.
Yeah,
finished third, and then go on and win the tournament.
I'm a bit of a football addict, so I like as many games as possible at the
Don't
same
give it
time.
away there.
That's right about jeopardy. Absolutely.
Oh, there's a chance for Denmark there. Sorry, go on, mate.
I just absolutely agree about the jeopardy thing and making. I mean, I like as much football as possible, but and also like being sort of half Scottish, it makes it even more terrible that they're one of the teams that have gone out. It makes it even more Scottish, really, for that to happen. It's like if they come out with a tournament where only one team goes out, Scotland will find a way to go and be the team that goes out after having done fairly well in the most difficult game and things like that. So it's just in the DNA of Scotland, sadly.
I think I'll make it
half English, half Scottish. You're half English, half Scottish.
Yeah, well, my name was Welsh as well, so how much that equates to in statistical terms, I'm not sure, but yeah, I basically count half and half, but I sort of support Wales on the side of those two as well. It's just covering all bases.
I'm determined to be happy at the end of this competition.
Yeah.
Hedge your bets. I think we will have a 32 team tournament, if not the next one, the one after. I think that's where they go. And you look at the likes of
it's getting that way, isn't it?
We got Greece, Serbia, Ireland, Norway. You know, they're all as good as some of the teams here. I think they could easily make it a 32.
Yeah,
I'd love a team like San Marino to get in it.
Well, the more they keep adding teams to this competition, and Gibraltar and Liechtenstein.
What it was about. Like the countries like that, like where they are sort of cannon fodder, but at the end of the day, they're 11 blokes playing and are national heroes for their country, even if they just score a goal. Like, think Panama at the World Cup.
Yeah.
They got torn apart every game.
Yeah.
But they scored the goal against England, and that was like they'd won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like if Andorra or like someone like that came through, I think it'd be amazing. And also anything to get more of that San Marino Twitter account going, because whenever something remotely positive happens, they scored the other day. I think they beat like the Faroe Islands or someone. Like that. And he was like, "This is amazing."
It'll get to the stage, lads, where UEFA will do away with the qualification. Just have every team will just take part in the Euros. So there's no qualifying, none of that. Just play through friendlies, and then everyone's in it. How many nations? Is it 50 nations? UEFA Nations or something like that. So just have them all in. Do away with the qualifying. You can all take part.
Agree.
But,
Just make it a league table.
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of the Nations League, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I said that as a bit of a joke, but with UEFA, you don't fucking know, do you?
Never know what's coming.
Exactly. 45 minutes been played, 2 minutes stoppage time. While that Wales keep it to 1-0 chance. That post. He should have gone across the goal.
Probably going wide, but good save.
It was a save from Ward from the number 5. Malahai or Mahaley. I don't know. I probably butchered it, but yeah. ball come in from the right by Striger. I think Dolberg tried to head it on. He missed it. There was 2 at the back. It was Brathwaite as well. Where was the marking from the Welsh side? God, he should have gone. Well, he went near post, but Ward saves it. It's a corner. Yeah, keep it at 1-0 half time. They've got a chance, Wales, but 2-0. That is a tough ask.
Yeah.
Especially with obviously no Wales fans in Johan Cruijff Arena full of Denmark fans. Ball comes in, back post, and declared by Moore, I think it was. Still not away though, and eventually cleared by I think it was Roden. I think Wales up against it, obviously in this game, but not in terms of obviously on the pitch with the scoreline, but also I think Denmark's everyone's neutrals after what happened with Christian Eriksen and the fact that obviously Denmark have got a few fans in the I think it's about 15,000 or 20,000 in the stadium.
Mm.
Oh, I'm fully a Denmark fan for this. The Welsh and the Scots and they want us to lose every game, so I want them to lose every game. I'm extremely bitter about their lack of support for us, so I'm not giving them my support.
I think Denmark have just got, Wales are relying on 2 players. Overall, Denmark have just got 3, 4, or 5 or 6 players that can just do something, haven't they? So I think the quality was always going to tell. It's just how much Wales could lift their game for the occasion, which they definitely did for the first 20, but since then, Denmark haven't really let them get out, have they? Really?
It's like player for player. Denmark are a much stronger team. If you look at the and where they are playing in their clubs, like Wales, obviously they've got like the stars of Ramsey and Bale, but then the average sort of is
Championship
Premier League Championship players, whereas like everyone in the Denmark team are top flight players in Germany and England and France, Spain.
That's right.
And at a relatively decent level in the top leagues.
I mean, like you say, it's just the Eriksen, incident just knocked them all for 6, didn't it? And it took them a couple of games to get their heads back in a game. Of course, that's to be expected. But as you say, they've got good quality. Who do they meet if they win this? Is it the winner of the Holland Czech Republic game?
We'll have to look at that. We've got enough time in the half time to have a quick look. So it's half time.
I think they're in our half of the draw, aren't they? So they would be playing then, and we would play Sweden or Ukraine. So we could meet the winner of Denmark, Wales, Holland, Czech Republic in the semi-final.
So I'm just
they've got Harrods and Carnu on the panel. I absolutely enjoy the fact that last Euros he scored twice without actually having a club.
Oh, that was that was peak, wasn't it? Like, what made me laugh though is obviously he did that brilliant Cruyff turn and scored against Belgium, brilliant goal. But some people were saying he's a Prem player in there. So well, no, he was let go by I think Reading, I think it was in the Championship. Yeah. Some players can really turn it on in a single instance for their national team. And we mentioned a couple of players earlier where they probably played better for their country rather than their club. Danny Welbeck, Peter Crouch is probably another one.
Yarmolenko.
Yeah. David Healy for Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a few like this. I just found it hilarious that some people say that Robson Khan is a Prem player and he wasn't. Even after that turn, it was a great turn and finish, but he wasn't.
He went to West Brom, didn't he? And he barely played.
Yeah, exactly. Last season, I think that just goes to show he's a very decent Championship player, but not a Prem striker, as shown for West Brom last season.
He scored against us.
Yeah, everyone did it. Everyone did in that bad run that Liverpool had. They lost, was it 6 games in a row at Anfield after going 68 unbeaten?
Yeah, it took an Alisson header to save it for us. So
didn't Graham Potter's Brighton beat you in that run?
Yeah,
probably
the manager that you don't rate.
Yeah, I think like you say, anyone would have beaten us in that run, wouldn't they? But we did well in the end. I think we won 8 of our last 10.
Liverpool really pulled it back. It was incredibly annoying to watch.
Yeah,
we were incredibly annoying to watch from an anti-Liverpool point of view and wanting West Ham to stay as high up the league as we could. But considering where you were, like to get the top 4 spot was, from a neutral perspective, a Liverpool perspective, I'm sure, like remarkable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Did not expect that. We were looking at March possibly getting in top 4, April blown it, and in May, like you say, oh wow, we managed to put it around again.
It was really annoying.
Eventually, having an amazing amount of incredibly high quality players does help.
True.
In the end. Who knew?
One of the best managers in the world.
Yeah.
That helps as well, I think.
Yeah. They were unlucky earlier in the year, I think, at times. I think the confidence went, and then just didn't go in.
The injuries. And it's obviously Virgil van Dijk, obviously will be the headline
huge
injury. But you look at like Gomez was injured most of the season. Matip gets injured every 5 minutes.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Henderson, Thiago, Fabinho, they're all out long term.
If you play Henderson and Thiago in defence, obviously they'd take him out of the midfield. And if you go for every team, and I don't care, even Man City, whoever it is, if your first 3 centre backs get injured for not just 1 or 2 games, like the majority of the matches, you get so I don't really, and it made me laugh when I think Roy Keane and a few others said it's the worst title defence.
No, it's ridiculous. Outrageous statement.
It came third. It's not that bad.
Yeah, but even before that.
Look at our one. I'm not having anyone beat that. My God.
What was it? 10th when Mourinho got sacked.
No, we were lower than that when he got sacked. We were 3 points away from relegation places or something. I think they were like. Did we finish?
I have very little sympathy when a big club has an injury crisis. We haven't had a striker in I don't know how many years.
Yeah,
Mikel Antonio is pretty good, isn't he?
He's not a striker; he's a winger.
Oh, he's not. He's not for me. He's too big and bulky for a winger now.
But he's not naturally a striker. Before,
who else have we got there?
Arnautovic, he was a winger.
Converted to
Antonio was converted to a right back before he was converted to a striker.
I think he's been. I think he's not a natural finisher, but I think actually he's. I think it says something for his integrity and actually the way he's worked.
He's a fantastic player, and he's
I love it. I quite like his movement, and he causes absolute havoc. Panicking people.
I'm not taking anything away from Antonio.
No.
It would be nice to know when his hamstring inevitably goes after a month that someone could step in.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm surprised Haller was such a flop. Like you moved him on pretty quickly, haven't you? But I thought he would be better.
Didn't play to his style at all.
We should never have bought him.
No.
He was never going to fit in with. Now Pellegrini was going to. We bought him because we were linked with Emery. Was it Maxi Gomez? We were linked with.
Yeah, Maximiliano Gomez from.
We didn't get him, and we need. At the end of the 18-19 season, under Pellegrini, we finished 10th. Had a pretty good, especially at home. We were pretty decent as well, beating Man United, etc. We had 4 strikers who were experienced at this level in this division.
Carroll, Arnautovic.
Marco Arnautovic, Andy Carroll, Javier Hernandez, and Lucas Perez. Right. All fairly different from one another. And then we got rid of all of them and then brought in 2 players in Hilaire and Ajeti, 2 who are unproven at Premier level, and that was proven.
Yeah.
What do you expect to happen?
But the thing is, Haller is a great striker if you play to his strengths. It's like if you have Andy Carroll but you play like Barcelona.
Yeah.
If you have Lionel Messi, but
great shout.
Great shout. If you say we have like Roberto Firmino, but you're playing as if he's Andy Carroll. You're not playing into his feet. If you have Werner, but you go, no, we're not going to put it over the top for you to run in behind. We're going to play on really slowly and then expect you to be like, it doesn't work if you don't play to their strengths. And Haller obviously had unbelievable talent. I mean, I think the majority of the goals he scored for us were overhead kicks.
Yeah, amazing ability. But yeah, just if you play him on your own up front, which we did most of the time.
I might be misremembering now. Did he come from? Was it Eintracht Frankfurt? He came from. And then he was playing with Jovic.
Jovic either side of it.
Yeah. And so I can see a problem here.
Yeah, he had a couple of games where he played him and Antonio up top together. Yeah. And all of a sudden he had the support, and all of a sudden there was a link. And then I think we did it twice and went, oh, so it's good to know that works, but we won't do it anymore.
We won't do it again. Yeah.
Someone who's probably suffered from the age of the single striker or the three up front in a way. And if you think actually as a player on the bench in this game, Paulson, who is built to play with others, really, and bring out the best in others, and with the movement and intelligence and things like that. Yeah, I was really surprised because he'd been very productive.
Paulson is a player. Paulson is a player I can 100% imagine us buying, and it exactly not working the same way as Haller.
playing on his own in a 5-4-1.
Yeah. It didn't work last time, but we'll try it again.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
What about I don't know what kind of money though. What about going for that Isaac? Someone's got to go for him, surely.
He's got a £70 million release clause.
Well, we're a very rich league. You know, I
can't imagine West Ham stretching that far. I can't imagine.
He's the type of like wonder kid or like someone with really high potential that us and a lot of clubs should be trying to go for 100% rather than these.
I still like the kid who was at Everton and went to PSG as well. The Moise Kean.
Moise Kean, yeah.
I think he would. I think he's got. I really would want West Ham to go and get young players and be progressive, and so not too good, obviously, become like painful. But yeah, I would like to see him. I don't know. Yeah, obviously, the kind of the history of that academy, or the recent history of my life. I'm quite old, but the recent history of that academy has produced some outrageous talent. So,
I think we're starting to try and get back to that now. Obviously, Declan Rice has come through, and a few others who've come off the bench and stuff. So hopefully they'll get a chance sort of next season. So just while it's still half time, what are your thoughts on that game, lads? Henry, we'll start with you on that first half.
Yeah, it's sort of maybe a bit tighter than I was expecting it to see. I didn't think Wales would have that good a start, but it was sort of like half expected. But I thought Denmark would be able to sort of marshal it eventually, and I think it's sort of just shown that they've been able to do that, and that their overall talent above Wales has sort of started to show with some of the chances they have made, and obviously the goal with Dalberg. Like, it just shows that extra bit of quality in the players to be able to create the goal, move that quickly, and finish the way he did. So, really good half of Denmark, I think. And Wales need to they definitely need to sort of change their thought process going into the second half, because otherwise they're just going to play into Denmark's hands again.
Yeah, agreed. Thoughts, Wiz?
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, I mean, Wales capitalise on counters and set pieces, so not an easy situation now. I think the more the game gets chaotic, the more it works for them. The more it's managed by Denmark. So something needs intensity, going back to front quickly. I think probably, and just the more. Create as much chaos as possible. I know that's not really you don't get that tactical instruction on Football Manager, but go back to front quickly, make it horrible, hit more, really be voracious in going for those second balls, those sorts of things. That would be because they're not going to outplay them, as has been established, as Denmark taking the foothold in the game. So yeah,
great. Yeah, Adam, your thoughts on that first 45?
Yeah, I agree with the guys. I think Wales are just so one-dimensional at the moment. They're just looking for the same outball every single time. You look at the bench, we've got Harry Wilson, and they've got Brooks, that we mentioned before the game as well. So maybe they need to just go for it. You know, they're not playing for a point. They need to win the game. So Denmark are quite comfortable just marking Bale, marking Ramsey out the game. I think Wales need to be a little bit more adventurous and bring on a few more attackers and, you know, attack down the left, the right, and the middle, not just always down that one side. So Denmark very, very comfortable as it stands. I think they had 60-something% possession, countless corners. So if a goal's going to come at this moment, it will be for Denmark. So yeah, Wales need to make changes for sure.
Yeah, it's often said when there's a 1-goal lead at half time, but the next goal was crucial. And if Denmark score it, I think they could even get a third and really kill Wales off. I think you know, we're all impressed by Wales' opening sort of quarter, and before Denmark got the goal, I think Wales were probably slightly the better side. But you know, Bale had a couple of chances, and I think Ramsey on the left of that was well blocked. But yeah, I think Wales need to sort of speed the play up and try and win the ball if they can higher up the pitch, and that's when they'll be able to exploit the spaces in behind if Denmark commit a few bodies forward. But no, I think the quality, as Henry mentioned, with the quality of Denmark's players 1 to 11 sort of shone and, you know, showed their talent throughout the game as it went on, and they started to get back into their you know, keeping the possession well and started to get into the game before they scored, and then from the goal onwards they absolutely dominated and even could have got a second one. So it's going to be a big ask for Wales, and they need to if they can try and start the second half like they did the first half.
They just got to get that goal, haven't they? Which they didn't seem to be able to do in the dominant period they had in the first half. So it's all about taking your chances, isn't it? When you're going to be giving up the majority of possession, when you do get that chance, you've got to take it.
Yeah, exactly. And as you mentioned, mate, they've got a few options: Harry Wilson, David Brooks, so you know, a couple others as well. So if they and Johnny Williams as well, very creative player, midfielder. So yeah, if it comes to it, they need to make some subs. But
they got 5 of them, haven't they? 5 subs available, so they might go for it.
I know Moore's a bit of an equaliser because he's a big guy, but they had a lot of success, I think, playing with Harry Wilson as a false 9. And I think that was the assumption coming into this. And I don't know if it's cold feet or the caretaker guy who's come in or what's happened with that. But yeah, that, you know, again, the false 9 is there to create chaos. They've got to do something to disrupt, because the longer the game has gone on, the more they've been able to manage it, Denmark.
Yeah, I'm surprised Harry Wilson's not playing more than he is. You know, Wales aren't exactly blessed with quality, are they? So to leave someone out that can, even his set piece ability, you know, that might be the best way of getting back in this game, directly or from across. So for me, he should be on very, very soon. But
I know Harry Wilson's very good at free kicks, but with Gareth Bale on the pitch, do you think you'd actually get a chance to take one?
Yeah, fair point.
That's true. So here we are, the second half's underway. Let's see how Wales respond to that end of the first half, where, as we mentioned, Denmark just absolutely dominated it. Yeah, no changes for either side, which is no surprise. But I'm sure we've all said, you know, well, there's options on the bench. I've got a few, so I don't think Robert Page will take too long to make any changes if it comes to it.
Yeah, I think the first 10 minutes of this second half will be very similar to the last 10 of the first. So I'd expect some changes around the 55, 60-minute mark, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Do we know how long Poulsen's out for? I was going to say, do we know how long Poulsen's out for? Is he just missing this game, or?
I don't think it wasn't really mentioned. No, I didn't. He is injured. He's not suspended or anything, so I've no idea. It wasn't. Yeah, no one said anything, or I haven't seen anything. So it'd be a big miss if they get through.
Oh, yeah.
But he might be back for the next game. You don't know. He might be just a knock or something. But it must be quite serious if he's not on the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just trying to find out now what happened.
Yeah.
Wiz, as a Chelsea fan, how does it feel knowing that Roberto Di Matteo has had a more successful stint than Thomas Tuchel?
Has it been more successful?
Well, he won 2 trophies, didn't he?
Was it the Super Cup he won, or?
I thought, didn't he win like the league or the FA Cup and the Champions League?
He won the FA.
He won the FA Cup. Oh yeah. Okay.
And Tuchel lost in the final, so really, get Di Matteo back, really.
Well, I think it's a bit like the Graham Potter question, I suppose. It's, how does observed reality go with... I mean, I remember, and I feel like this will be a sympathetic forum for my kind of, you can be my agony aunt, but try to argue with someone that Pochettino was a terrible sacking by Spurs and that he was a better manager than Mourinho, and they said it's not even a comparison because Mourinho's got more trophies. And I don't think, I mean, it's obvious in the case of Di Matteo. Good luck to him, and we love him, obviously, as a player as well. But, yeah.
We could to counter him. Tuchel actually finished in the Champions League places, but Di Matteo didn't.
No.
Chance goal!
There you go. Dolberg
could be game over 2-0 Denmark, and it's that man Dolberg again. Close to finish that one. Had to strike that well. Number of Welsh players in the way.
Yeah.
Well, we said Wales needed a strong start to the second half. It's been a nightmare start.
Yeah, we expected it. We expected it, didn't we? Without any changes, nothing was gonna change, was it? So I think being an inexperienced international manager, he's hoped for 10 minutes of something from his players, but it's more of the same as we predicted, isn't it?
The same as their foul in the build-up. No foul given. Kier, the captain on Moore, and then they broke from there. Don't think there's an offside on Braithwaite. Good run forward. Did everything right. Ball across the box. Oh, that's a bad clearance. Williams, the sub. That's really poor. Who picked him up before we come on? It was you, Adam, wasn't it? He should be starting.
Just kicked it straight to him, didn't he?
That's bizarre. Terrible.
To be fair, I like Neco Williams. I think he's a really good young
player.
I only said that about Tuchel. I watched the Champions League final with a Chelsea fan who's a mate of mine, and when he was lifting the trophy, I went, did Di Matteo do that? And also win the FA Cup, and he just gave it the biggest like from ever seen. He was just like...
He's done an amazing job, Tuchel.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's a great manager.
What do you guys make of obviously a great finish by Dolberg, and obviously the bad clearance by Williams? But I mean, do you think there was a foul in the build-up?
No, 50-50 in it. It's just crashed into each other.
Yeah,
I'd expect a little bit more from Moore, to be honest. There,
but to be honest, I mean, Wales had the chance to clear it, and Williams just absolutely fluffed it. So they got themselves to blame.
Very strange clearance, sort of right across his own goal. I coach under 11s. I tell him not to do that.
Yeah. That was that way. It was like an under 11s clearance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Well, I think where they got that chance at the back stick in the first half, he was. I don't want to be too harsh on him, but I think positionally that looked a bit, too much space.
Was that the one where Braithwaite was there and the wing back? It was them two, and they had a penalty box themselves.
Yeah. We
said Wales needed to come out flying.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, what nightmare! Absolute nightmare.
Well, as every commentator always says, it's a long way back now.
It's true though. They're going for it. Denmark. Delaney plays it forward. Ball in the box. Oh, cleared by Allen eventually.
They're smelling blood, aren't they?
Yeah. They're smelling blood here, the Danes. There's more goals for them if they carry on sacking, I think.
Who said Denmark was going to do really well at the start in their predictions?
I think it was you. 3-1 you went for.
Well, technically, my 2-2 is still on the cards.
So it's 4-3.
Yeah, so it's a 4-3. Keep hope alive.
Wales have got to go for it now.
Ball comes in. Oh, Williams does well to head that one away. Should have done that in the first clearance. Should have cleared at that side.
That is the problem. These kind of sides, and I don't want to call Wales a small side because they've got obviously some incredible players, but like just that low block, relying on set pieces, a bit like England play. It probably only gets you so far.
Yeah, they're
As
going
soon as
to
you
have
come up with
to.
a real team with real quality,
Yeah.
you
They're going to have to take some huge risks here, Wales.
I know they beat Belgium last time, but their manager is overrated. I think, to be honest.
Was that Martin?
Belgium.
Yeah, I think this team is ludicrous, but I mean, I just think all teams with Kevin De Bruyne in should immediately win every game.
Lukaku,
Well,
yeah.
you can argue it's Belgium's last chance, or one of their big chances to win a tournament, because especially their defence, they're putting in Zimmer frames. I mean, how old they are.
Marlon's still knocking around for them.
I can't believe Vermaelen's in the squad still.
Yeah, plays in Japan now, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Vassell, Kobe Vassell.
Oh, good Bob Williams. It's a chance.
Oh,
was it more at the end of it? Him and Bale went for the same ball. Oh, talk about getting the goal back immediately. Williams does well on the right hand side to keep it in and get it to the back post. Oh, I think Bale got in the way. It was Moore's ball all the way. But yeah, Bale took it off him. And also saying for Denmark's second goal, did it go out of play?
No, his chest is in line with them.
Yeah. But we're saying all that. Go back to the clearance is awful.
Terrible. Just on Belgium, do we think they beat Portugal?
Got a chance.
Honestly, I want them to, but I think they might be a bit smart.
Both teams are really good going forward, but the back, there's definitely question marks with both of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Chance here for Wales. This is the counter they've been wanting. Ball comes in. Oh, what a clearance! Yeah, the captain.
Yeah.
It was Ramsey running through. You wanted Dan James running through there with his blistering pace. But it's been a good response from Wales this last few minutes. He needs to create some opportunities. As Kasper Schmeichel, I don't think he's had a save or a proper save to make in this match, you'd say.
No. Not been tested enough, has he? Nowhere near enough.
No, I'm just looking at how many shots they've been on target. I think there's been, obviously Denmark have had a few, but I'm not sure Wales have at all. But yeah, they've had the one, and that was just a tame roll across the ground from Dan James outside the box.
Yeah,
in the first half. So yeah, Delaney's gone down the Denmark midfielder.
In terms of that Belgium game, the thing that I would fear is Denmark were better than Belgium, although they got beat. They were better than Belgium, I thought, and I think it was their intensity. Yeah. They
rested a couple of players, didn't they? Didn't they bring De Bruyne and Hazard on at half time or in the second half?
And Witsel later in the half. I think it was supposed to, what three subs to bring on.
And having seen the intensity that Portugal can play out in the group they had in the games against France and everything, I don't know. I would be a bit worried for Belgium.
And they got Ronaldo, scores against whatever team you put him against. He seems to find a way to score a goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, I agree with Henry. I think both defenses are very, very porous, very, very average. I'd say so. Yeah, that could be a 4-3. That, do you know what I mean? So because of how poor the defenses are.
I'll most likely now be definitely a 0-0.
We've ruined it now. It's going to be a shit house 0-0.
Ronaldo's going to score with his arse in the 119th minute.
That would be totally heartbreaking.
Yeah, Portugal shit house their way to another final.
I think the winner of that game potentially meet Italy, so that could be another massive tie as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that side of the draw is much worse.
Yeah, it's weird. I know for the tournament we were saying that we didn't want to win the group. We were going to get a harder draw, but like you say, if we get past Germany, which is a big if, it does open up for us, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a few of us have said before though, it's about time that we beat a big nation in one of these knockout matches.
Yeah. When was the last time?
Man.
I mean, maybe Spain Euro '96, but Spain weren't the golden team of 2008 to 2012, so
they were still better than us that game. But I remember.
In the group stages, we beat Argentina in 2002. Themselves in Euro 2000, Shearer scored. But in terms of knockout matches, Who have we beaten over Ecuador, Denmark themselves?
Colombia, Sweden.
Yeah, Colombia, Sweden.
Not many others, is there?
No, not really. Yeah.
No. It's almost like we're not as good at football as people think.
If anyone's interested, Matt Hancock's just resigned.
Oh, is he?
Well, that's
not a great surprise.
It's a shame he didn't do that. A shame he didn't do that 18 months ago. Before there was a global pandemic, sadly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, good response from Wales this last few minutes, but just need to. Well, it's easier said than done. They just need to up the tempo a bit. It's too easy for Denmark to get into a shape, especially with their wing back system. It's like you get past us.
Yeah.
And you're asking. Roden's pretty good on the ball, I think, of what I've seen of him. But you're asking Mepham to come out and play like Franz Beckenbauer. Allen's not dropping there.
This is better from Wales. Davis to Bale. Bale's drifted to this left-hand side. Now Bale crosses it. Good ball, back post. Moore hits it. James. I think it was Christensen, was it?
Yeah, it looks like he went down. So
it would be interesting to see if that was on target. It looked at it from the first when it was live. Good touch by James Stutes. I know it was Christian. It was going wide anyway, I think.
I think it was a massive handball, wasn't it?
Yeah, it hits Christensen, I think. I mean, even with today's ridiculous handball rules, that'd be harsh to give that one, surely. Change it for Denmark. Norgard's coming on and Damsgaard's coming off.
Just as you rate someone up, then they don't do anything, isn't it?
The
same with the Leicester goalie, Ward. Everyone's been like, he's been really good so far.
Oh yes, but you can't blame him from them.
Oh no, not the goals. I mean, more like some of the other flaps he's had, and they're kicking the ball out of play.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Morel's come off for Wales. Who's come on in his place?
Harry Wilson.
Harry Wilson. Oh well, you guys have bigged him up, so let's see. Let's see how he does.
I like him. Is he permanently left Liverpool? I know I should know.
What was that?
Is he left Liverpool permanently?
No, he's not left permanently. He's straight back for pre-season. We've loaned him out to Bournemouth and Cardiff the last 2 seasons, so I think we'll probably be looking to move him on. To be honest,
I really thought he'd get a better move after his Bournemouth loan.
I did.
Rather than to Cardiff, that seemed like such a backward step.
Yeah, Prem loan to Championship loan. It made no sense, did it? And he had a good spell at Bournemouth as well.
Yeah. You'd have thought like a club like West Brom, like one of the guys that came up, like West Brom or even like Sheffield United,
like
100% would have been a great little player for them.
Yeah,
especially like Sheffield United, they're crying out for a player like Harry Wilson.
Yeah, he would have, especially the way they play with a big man up top. He could have whipped the ball in all day.
Yeah,
him and McGoldrick could have had a really good partnership.
That's it.
But he just seems like he seems so much better than just going to Cardiff on loan. Like you think, Brentford, like replace Ben Rama, who's outgoing, like a team pushing to get promoted at least.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a team at the top end of the Championship, was it?
No.
Oh, another chance for Denmark. Shot comes in. Oh, great block. So, Wiz, what do you make of the rumours that Billy Gilmore might go to Norwich on loan?
Well, Tuchel will have his plans. I think he's got a role to offer. He's got something to offer us. I don't think he's a million miles behind Jorginho. Maybe that sounds like a radical overstatement, but I think I rate Gilmore, especially being half Scottish, I rate Gilmore really highly. And Jorginho, I think he's okay, but has some really big weaknesses. I mean, he knows what he's doing. We need bodies in midfield. Next to the area of the pitch, we need people the most. I mean, I think people would focus on the striker, but in the centre of midfield, we need people. So, presumably, we've got someone coming through the door or something. I don't know. But I was a little bit surprised.
Good club for him to go to. They're very good, like nurturing young players. Norwich.
Yeah.
Like James Madison, Aaron's.
Play good football as well.
Yeah.
He just could be on the end of 25 Premier League defeats, though, couldn't he? Quite easily. It's just not going to help.
Well, if he plays for him, then that's good quality. So he might be one of their sort of mainstays of the side and help them get wins.
Could he not get a better move than Norwich though? You've been spoke up.
I prefer him to be going to Brighton.
That's what I mean. Just someone even like Aston Villa. If they was to lose Grealish, would that not be a good loan there? I know not quite the same player, but I think he could play for a better team than Norwich.
Yeah. Well, if they change their style, they've got Buendia now, who will. I really love him as well. I mean, I was really looking forward to seeing Watkins, Grealish, and Buendia potentially playing together, because that could be sauce.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's about partly playing the right sort of football.
Goes over. Yeah, that works.
Actually, Alan's a good example, because he played with Leon Britton in that Swansea side, and I think Britton and Alan used to say, under Rodgers, and they used to say, look, we can play in this system and it suits us, and I think that's the same with Gilmour. He needs something that is a bit like that, like maybe a really young progressive manager who's interested in not just possession, but like he can learn something from, in terms of being. I think he's pretty good defensively, but I don't know. I just want him to get time and be coached properly.
I don't think Norwich are going to be like the whipping boys they were last time either.
No, they'll be better this season.
When they came up last time, it was like 2 years ahead of when they were hoping to get promoted.
Agreed. Yeah.
So they've had.
Are they not worse than they were last time?
No, well, they've kept a lot of the same players. Like Campbell's still there, Max Aaron's is still there, and they've developed and grown. They've got a couple other young players that are coming through a bit. They've just signed that.
They've lost Buendia, they've lost Godfrey, they've lost Lewis. Pukki's 2 years old.
Rashika, is that his name? Rashika from Werder Bremen, really good player. They get Gilmour in at centre midfield. Like, they're selling players for very good sort of money to come in to replace. Quite a well-run club in that respect. So, they've lost players, but they've also replaced them, at least at the championship level, with a huge profit. So if they just continue to sort of invest and buy wisely this summer, then they should. I'm not saying they're going to turf up the ground and do what Leeds did last year.
No, I think they'll be more competitive.
But I don't think they're going to be what they were last time, where they have a couple games where they catch people out because no one's expecting Timu Pukki to score a few goals. But I don't think they're going to be necessarily like rock bottom for the whole season.
I think they'll be in the bottom three for the majority.
Yeah, I still think it's a big ask for them to stay out, but I think they've got a better chance than last time, especially if they could get Gilmour and maybe a couple of really prem quality loans in or whatever. Then they've got every chance.
Yeah, they just.
I think as a Liverpool fan, you definitely got a big perception of Norwich, because you just like Suarez scoring a hat-trick against
Suarez's favourite side.
Yeah, I think we beat them 4-1 on the first game of the season the last time they were in the Prem as well.
That's right.
You scored, then Pukki scored, and then you just scored and scored.
Yeah, I think that was a Friday night game under the lights. That was a good one. But they relied on Pukki so much, didn't they? He was, smashing him in, especially the first half of that season, and he did die off. And he's now 2 years older. For me, they've not got anyone in there. The only player that they did have was Buendia, and they've sold him. So there's a lot of work to do to even get close to staying up, because at the moment I think they're weaker than the last time they were here.
But he didn't, like Buendia, he had a good season in the Premier League, but he didn't score a lot and he didn't assist a lot. So if they, like the new guy they've signed, Rashica, if he
shot. Oh, good block.
If he has a bigger impact, then they're not going to miss Buendia, because if they've already got his replacement and he does better in the Premier League.
But then that's just replacing like for like, and that gets you the championship title, but I don't think that keeps you in the Prem.
Oh no, of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the new guy is better in the Premier League than Buendia was, there's strength from there.
Yeah, agree.
The young defenders like Lewis and Godfrey going. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I couldn't tell you who the defense is now, but when they left Norwich, they were obviously really young and grew a lot in that first year in the Premier League to get those big moves.
Definitely.
But if they're able to if they just have a bit more experience in those positions rather than giving so much responsibility to the youth, then you lose a bit of naivety that they did have in that first season, but didn't have this season with moves to Newcastle and Everton.
Yeah.
And Lewis wasn't too fantastic at Newcastle either.
No.
He didn't even play a lot of the time. He came off the bench from them as well.
Maybe Max Aarons might be moving on. He's been linked, isn't he, with a few teams as well?
Oh, he got linked with Barca.
Really?
He got
Did you hear that one?
He definitely got linked with Bayern at one point.
Really?
They signed Richards from Reading.
I know Everton were interested, weren't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I think Buendia. Well, I think Buendia might be absolutely sensational for Villa. I hope he is, because I really like him a lot. I think he's a lot of fun to watch, and he tries to do everything. I love those type of players. And plus, it'll just give me incredible pleasure to see Arsenal fans crying over another missed signing that went to Villa. And that
They could have had a World 11, couldn't they?
filled me with joy.
They've missed out on.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Well, Wales have had a bit more of the ball last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but again, they haven't managed to test Kasper Schmeichel, and that's going to cost them.
They look organised, don't they? Denmark, they look good. A few, again, out of Bale on the left, just crossing. They're looking like they're adjusting. They're looking pretty comfortable at the moment, Denmark.
Yeah, seems to be keeping Wales at arm's length, I'd say. Getting into a good shape. You break us down, and Wales just haven't been able to so far.
Yeah, it's tough going 1-0 down to a team of a back three, let alone 2-0 down. They're not going to suddenly change their formation. It's worked up to now. It's a big ask to get back in this game because Denmark don't need to score.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Another sub for Denmark, and it's the match winner so far. Looking that way, Dahlberg. 2 very good goals, especially the first one. He's been subbed off. It's a hug from the manager, and Cornelius comes on. Was he at Cardiff?
Yeah.
Rings a bell, that name.
Yeah. I think they spent like 9 million quid on them before they got relegated.
Was that when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge of Cardiff?
Yeah. It was like one signing he was allowed under Vincent Tan.
Cornelius.
To see where he actually plays, Cornelius.
I think he's at Copenhagen.
All right.
But that might be a complete guess.
Oh, he's at Atalanta, but I think he's been on loan at Parma.
Yeah.
Last couple of seasons. Yeah. And last season he was on fire. He scored 1 goal in the league from 29 appearances. So
was that in Serie B or something?
No, Serie A. But the previous season he scored 12 in 26. So just had a real drop off last season.
Yeah. Like you said, Henry, does the team play to his strengths? He's clearly a very long target header man, isn't he? If the club aren't playing that way, he's not going to score.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know if he was injured last season. I don't know. That's the thing. You don't know how many appearances off the bench either.
True.
You say that was at Parma, the one goal?
On loan, yeah. On loan.
Yeah. I mean, Parma played, as far as I know, they played quite quick counter-attacking football with the players that I thought they had.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't really fit into that style unless he's just you just stay up there and we'll eventually run to you.
Exactly.
Sort of like when we used to play counter-attacking with Payet and Lanzini and Valencia, then Andy Carroll would occasionally play. And it's like you just stay up and we'll eventually get it to you.
or we'd play Route 1 football with Javier Hernandez up front.
Yeah. Oh, that works every time. He's the same example as with Haller. Like with Hernandez, we played as you said, Route 1, and his name's a little P. Like, not even big P, just little P. Because what's he gonna do? Like, we've had some brilliant strikers be at the club and not play to their strengths.
Yeah.
Like,
or they just bought the name rather than whether they fit the team's sort of structure or not.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
I mean, the odd thing is probably one of the players that would have fit that sort of mixed style of not really knowing what we're doing with the striker in terms of you need someone that can put pressure on, be a bit of a poacher, be a bit of a target man was probably Lucas Perez, and he played the least out of all of them.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And he had quite a good goal scoring record.
I was going to say, yeah.
I think Mark Noble also said that he's the best finisher he's seen at the club, like in terms of in training.
Yeah,
natural finisher, and he never really played. But when he did, he usually did okay, except for when he was playing against Stockport or whoever we were playing in the League Cup early on, where you see a lot of sort of players that aren't used to playing in England that much struggle against because they're like, I don't know how to play on a field, rather than like a properly prepared turf. I don't know how to play against Dan, who's 6'8" and is just going to put his elbow through the back of me all game.
I think didn't he score against AFC Wimbledon when we got knocked out? I swear it was him that who scored.
I know. Wimbledon. I know Anderson scored a free kick. What was it? It was 4-2.
I swear Perez got one of them. But
is he really a striker?
Who?
He's like
Perez.
Lucas Perez, yeah.
Yeah.
He was played for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Denmark really get back post. Oh, I had to clear that one. Oh, chance for Wales if they could get it forward quickly, which they have. Bell's on the run if they can find him. Oh, it's not the greatest ball. He's got it though. Chance for Wales to get forward. Takes on Christensen. Cross. Oh, well cleared. Chances gone.
Yeah, it's sort of like
it was number 9, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it's very. I'm maybe getting players mixed up. There's a player who used to play from the right for Arsenal, really left-footed. Is that he?
Don't know. I think Wenger might have played him out wide once or twice, but number 9, yeah.
I think he was sort of one of those players where you just sort of, if you wanted another striker, you put him on, but you probably shove him like wide kind of thing because he was a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The stop and play, Kier, the Denmark captain's gone down. Might be cramp or something.
He's been down a few times, that captain.
He's played well though.
Mm.
Had a really good tournament. And not just because of his, heroics with the Christian Eriksen. He's actually defended very well as well, from what I've seen.
He's at Milan, though, captain, isn't he? Kjaer.
Yeah.
So he's been a solid player for a good number of years. Very, very, very good player.
Yeah, it's interesting in Milan. They've just lost Donnarumma and Calhanoglu as well, haven't they? And they've got some work to do there.
Yeah, just when you think they're back on the rise again, they have to that square one. Yeah.
Was Calhanoglu, was he that crucial to Milan? So whenever I saw he was always sort of being linked away.
I don't watch a lot of Italian football, but I think he was a pretty main player in that team. Obviously playing in the 10, wasn't he, with Zlatan? Getting a lot of chances created by him. But I think Donnarumma is going to be the big miss. He's going to be very tough to replace. Isn't he?
Whenever I look at his stats, and those go, oh, he's still only 22 or something. He's played 200 first games.
Yeah, clean sheets as well. Just so many.
Is he going to PSG? Is that the rumor? Or is it confirmed? Is it?
Seems to be.
And what about Calhanoglu? Where's he's been linked with Arsenal?
He's gone to Inter Milan, believe it or not, on a free. So
has he?
He'll be very popular.
I didn't know that. Oh my god!
Very, very popular person.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he's signed to Inter on a free.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So they just won the league, so very much on the up. But then Conte's left, so I know they're a little bit financial trouble, aren't they? So picking up players on frees and maybe selling a couple. I think Hakimi's being linked with PSG as well.
Yeah, I think we were sniffing around him, or that was the rumor.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, he's sensational. He'd be great for us. It does make it look like we're going to continue playing free at the back.
Yeah, James inside or Azpilicueta as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Kier's been subbed off.
Yeah, he's been down a while.
Hasn't he? The player that was at Fulham.
Who?
Joachim Anderson. Is that the guy that was on loan at Fulham?
I don't know if he's
But
Might
he's
be
shaking
him.
his head
Might be him, yeah.
because he looks very different.
Unless yeah, I have to look. Unless it's the American Anderson. I have to look at that. So a couple of changes for Wales. Moore's coming off.
Brooks is coming on. That's one of them. Yeah, Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah, Brooks is coming on. Tyler Roberts is coming in Moore's place, and Brooks is coming on for. I'm not sure who at the moment. It's Dan James. He's coming on for.
Yeah, he has been quiet.
Yeah, it's been quiet, James. Yeah.
Yeah, barely touched the ball, has he? Barely been involved.
Yeah, we said that Wales had to make some subs. I think it might be too late, personally. I mean, has Wilson touched it yet?
It's not fed him at all, have they?
No, we haven't seen
Always looking for Bale down that left-hand side. It's very predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they have put crosses in, they've not had enough players in the box.
No, they've not gone for it enough, have they? They should have gone for it earlier. They reacted from going 2-0 down, didn't they? It was too late.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, it might have been wise to make at least one sub at half time.
I agree.
While it was still 1-0.
Yeah, we said, didn't we? It was just going to be more of the same.
I never understand why Wales don't really try just play Bale through the centre and just lump the pace next to him with James and Wilson.
Yeah,
like he's your best player. Just put him central.
I agree. If you want a chance, you want it to fall to him, don't you?
Yeah,
not a big key for
him.
him.
Like Ronaldo when he was at Madrid, like as soon as he started to lose his pace a bit, they just put him central rather than having him on the wing.
Yeah, get some pace around him, let him do his thing.
Bell, Davis is on the left. Ball comes in. Oh, doesn't fall. Volley's in the box though.
He basically plays a completely free role. I can understand because, as you said, that they don't have the biggest amount of quality in midfield, Wales, so they just lack genuine creativity.
Yeah.
So is that Cornelius on the ball?
Yeah, go on.
That'll be a booking.
That's a foul booking, surely. God, he put the burners on there, didn't he? It was Brooks, the sub, who's been booked there. Yeah, it was, yeah. Classic shithouse foul that gets booked unlike Fernandinho.
Running out of time, aren't they, Wales?
Yeah, you never know last 10 minutes of a game, but it's not looking likely for Wales, I've got to say. And it'll be all over, especially if Denmark score from this free kick. Might as well start the car and go home.
Yeah. 4-3 still on, though.
I think I said 2-1, so could potentially be right, but Denmark look pretty strong at the back at the minute.
Yeah, very solid. Brathwaite's over it.
The way Denmark play, I wouldn't be surprised to see them cause a lot of issues if England met them at some point.
Yeah, so Brathwaite takes it. Goes harmlessly over.
With their defensive shape and the players they have at the back.
Yeah, they'll take some beating. I think we only
struggle against them.
We'd only meet them in a semi-final, I think, if they were to be able to overcome Holland as well, and we were able to beat Germany. But I agree. I think Denmark will cause some problems to the bigger teams. Well, I say bigger teams. Holland are. I don't think we are at the minute.
Well, I think they'll give whoever they play out of Netherlands and Czech Republic. I think Denmark will be.
Yeah, Denmark will be a good game.
They'll be confident against either of those.
I think the Czech Republic would also be a really good game, because they might fancy themselves a bit more to take them on man for man, and go for it a bit more rather than be like, oh, we'll just need to be solid at the back and ride it out kind of thing.
Yeah.
It opens the game up. Say Czech Republic do get the first goal, that'd be a really exciting game.
And the Netherlands, as they showed in the Ukraine game, they're not the most solid at the back.
Very true. Very true.
With Van Dijk unavailable as well.
Yeah.
When's Van Dijk
in there as well? He's back in pre-season training, so he should be back for the start of the season. Yeah. Holland have got some good players: De Jong, De Ligt, Wijnaldum, Depay. That Marlon that's come in as well. They look very strong.
Oh yeah.
He's getting linked.
Yeah.
So Cornelius again on a rampaging run. Does very well.
The Daily Mail are definitely going to link him tomorrow with a £10 million move to West Ham.
Oh, good cross from Brathwaite. Is that a corner? I think it is, yeah. Well, I think Cornelius has made a good impact from the bench.
Yeah, he has. It's a shame, isn't it? Like, obviously, Ericsson was awful what happened, but they've actually, they've really missed him as well as being galvanised by his absence, haven't they? Like, they've missed his creativity, and I think, if they were to meet Holland in the quarterfinals, that could be the one place that they may come up short.
Yeah, I think that would probably cause us a few problems. Partly because I think we can be a bit conservative and let the game come away from us a little bit. And, again, we talked before the game about look who these players played for. But I think if you looked at our potential players, we shouldn't really have that kind of fear.
Oh, absolutely.
No, 100%.
I know that well-organised defensive sides tend to win tournaments, and I completely accept that. And I accept that people calling for us to play 5 against Germany at the back. But yeah, I think we should have a bit more confidence in our game, and I sort of think that kind of a front three of maybe Sterling, Saka, and Kane or whatever with their movement against this defence. I think we should. Yeah, we're getting quite a long way ahead of ourselves, but I think we should have a bit more confidence about the way we can play.
I'd be surprised if we did a back 5, having not played that for a while now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the only thing of the front 3 that they played Germany, I think they've played in the games, they've played Werner or they've played Sane, and that makes me think, will he try, sort of almost a matchup of Kyle Walker, or you could do Reece James, but Kyle Walker against that threat.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would be just sitting probably quite deep and just allowing him to have it. And with their quality, I don't know whether that would work.
I think we just need to flip it and get at them. They've let 2 goals in against Hungary. I think we can get the likes of Grealish, Mount, Foden up against their back line. Germany aren't what they were. I know they're always in and around the quarters and the semi-finals, but they're definitely there to be got at, I think, this time around.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Hummels, Rudiger, and Ginter aren't. That's not the best you've ever seen.
I agree.
Another corner for Denmark. We're playing this remainder of the game pretty well. Good game management so far.
Yeah. Just that more experience, aren't they? Like we said, the clubs they play for, they've just got that little bit more football knowledge, haven't they?
Yeah, and as the tournament's gone on, they've improved with every game.
Absolutely.
And I think if obviously Ericsson, if that doesn't happen, I think they beat Finland.
Yeah, I do.
Because Finland are not the best side. Oh, chance!
That is an extremely strange game.
Yeah, no, I think you obviously, it's a big word said often, but momentum, and Denmark they've carried it obviously from the Russia game. They've carried it into this match.
Yeah, obviously they won it, didn't they? What was it, 92?
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't even meant to take part in it.
Was that Yugoslavia or something that were meant to be in it instead?
Yeah. I'll talk about seizing the opportunity.
Absolutely.
You fucking go and win the thing.
That's madness. Oh, we've seen strange things happen, haven't we? Leicester winning the league, so who knows?
Yeah, and even in this competition, obviously Denmark and Greece in 2004.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
So
even Portugal in 2016, I think, was a little bit of a surprise.
Well, that was a shit house because, as I said, they finished third in the group, didn't even win.
That's what I mean. I don't. Yeah, another one.
That is one strong argument against. Well, in favour of only having 2 teams go through. Portugal would have been out in the first round in both tournaments, 2016 and this one. So
yeah,
which
spot on.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why they've got a little asterisk against their win in the 2016 for me anyway.
Yeah.
It sounds like English sour grapes, but I'd like it completely struck from the record. Erased from history.
just a big line through it.
I have not got over the penalty shootouts we've lost at all.
Oh, what, to Portugal?
Yeah.
Yeah, twice. Yeah,
Heartbreaking.
that's in a row, wasn't it?
The worst one was when was it Sol Campbell scored that header?
Yeah.
Yep.
John Terry was like done for like a foul off the ball or something completely irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, that was the first one that Campbell got added disallowed goals. I think it was the same against who was it, Argentina in '98.
Yeah.
He had a similar thing. He scored and it was disallowed.
That's the best England team I think I've ever seen in 2004.
Oh, it was frightening. People praise Ericsson for the job he did. I think he was a massive L for England, massive failure with the squad that he had, and to get to 3 quarterfinals. I know some people say, well, quarters are good nowadays, but chance here for Denmark. 3-0 game over.
There you go.
That's the guy with.
Yeah, my boy.
Another really good.
I like him.
It was the left wing back, Mahale, I think it was number 5.
Yeah, he can play either side, but he plays with Gosens at Atalanta. But I really like the guy. I think he looks great. Obviously, it's good there.
In fact, finish and into this match, sticks in the top corner. Again, the marking from Wales is absolutely abysmal. They've been pretty solid, Wales, this tournament in defence, but they've been all at sea. The second goal, we mentioned bad clearance, and that one just fucking had the penalty area to himself.
Yeah, they've been much better. There could be no complaints after.
But Denmark 100% deserve it. They haven't shit house this one. They really deserved it. Good play again, not for the first time. Just a simple crossfield ball. I think Davis is well out of position. Cuts inside. Great fit. Again, Ward has got no chance with that one.
Yeah, it's a great goal, isn't it? I've just seen it going.
Cuts inside. Jesus.
It's more than a minute behind, isn't it?
He just scored. What's the time clock
now?
Yeah, we're in the 89-20 we're on.
I'm on 88-12.
That's well, we thought it was game over anyway, but that's definitely game over. That's what I was saying before. But yeah, for Ericsson, I think to get 3 quarterfinals with the squads we had, I think it's a massive L. I think
that was a crazy team, wasn't it? Just Beckham, Owen, Rooney, just should have been at least reaching a final.
Yeah, Gerrard, Lampard, Paul Scholes in 2004.
Yeah, it's straight
red card for Wilson.
Oh, red.
Really?
Yeah. It was completely reckless. I mean, I don't know if it's a red, but it was total frustration.
Who was it that picked up Wilson?
Yeah, he's not had a great one, has he?
He's barely touched and gets a straight red card.
So the Liverpool players, one's been sent off and one's given a goal away.
Yeah,
there's no attempt to play. Look, he's just sliding him. Oh, it's not a red. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's cynical. Never a red card. Outrageous.
So it's a yellow.
It's a yellow, like professional foul, stopping the play kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that can't. He hasn't been booked before, has he?
No, straight. Just red came straight out. Straight red. I'm sure. Sure it was.
I think there was another red recently where that was hard. I think it might have been Ampadu actually against Italy.
Yeah.
That was quite hard. Just to say that comes on screen. Well, that was harsh, and geez, I think it's certainly a foul by Wilson, but a red for that.
The Ampadu one I could see more, but this one extremely.
The VAR would be coming in, wouldn't he?
You'd think so. But obviously, they think he hasn't made a mistake. But
who was praising VAR earlier? Oh, yeah.
The thing about it is that when I saw him doing the Champions League final, that Spanish referee, I was dreading it, and he was incredible in the Champions League final, and then just went completely mad in the Portugal-France game. That ref. I don't even remember. All sorts of insane decisions and penalties all over the shop and everything.
Yeah, it's a yellow card for me, that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's just I think it's going from bad to worse for Wales in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, it was late, but I mean, a red for that. I
don't know whether I'll have an option to cash in my 4-3 bet. Probably.
I've got a double on today. Denmark and Italy to both win in 90 minutes. So looking good so far.
Oh.
Who have Italy got?
Austria. About 8. Is it 8 p.m. tonight? I think it is.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
God, the way Italy's been playing.
Yeah, it should be.
I think Austria are lucky to be through. Yeah. God, they have looked really something.
Yeah, Italy looks special, don't they?
And they're another one. You go through their side, and you do go, "Oh, hang on a minute. Where's the weakness in this?"
I did the same.
Scary.
Mancini is a good manager as well.
Yeah.
Proved that at Man City and in Milan by winning Serie A 3 or 4 times. Good manager.
Yeah. Well, they've 30 wins in a row. Haven't conceded in 10. Crazy stats.
Yeah. When I did my tournament prediction, I had England, Italy in the final.
30 wins in a row, but yeah, 30 unbeaten. Even so,
that's unbeaten, is it? Sorry.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Offside or foul. God, that would have been harsh. 4-0.
The second half, Wales, they woke up after the goal, but they've never really threatened.
No, they huffed and puffed for a bit, and they had a few crosses in the box. But again, Kasia Schmeichel had a pretty easy game of it. You have to say. Also, and the defence by for Denmark been outstanding, particularly 3 centre halves. Been excellent.
Yeah,
all game.
That looked onside to me.
It did. Yeah, they're just checking the goal.
That's extremely close. Well, they're thickening the lines next season for VAR for us, aren't they? Which I'm really pleased about.
I don't know why they don't just make it like it's got to be like clear distance, like clear sunlight.
They could have a buffer, couldn't they?
Clear advantage.
There's precedent in other sports for doing that sort of thing, like cricket.
Yeah, and the whole offside was brought in to stop like hanging 20 yards past the defence.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, if you just make it, like, if the guy's leaning forward, or it's like his arse is hanging out,
or his arm, even,
or their toe, or I think Pookie got offside because his beard was offside or something stupid a couple of seasons ago. They're checking the offside. Yeah, it looks pretty.
It's whether his shoulder is further than his knee.
Yeah. I think they'll give this.
It's not going to make too much difference to the outcome of the match, but still.
But to me, it's like if you've had to look at it for this long, it should be onside.
Yeah, that's exactly. If you can't tell within a minute, then it's too close to not count it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the margin of error. I'm sure someone's written an article about the curvature of the ball when it's compressed and the dimensions of pitches, but there must be a point of uncertainty.
Oh, goal given. 4-0.
Giving it.
Yeah, they've given it. Yeah.
By Wales.
I think we probably knew as soon as the second goal went in, so let alone the third and fourth. But yeah, it's 4-0 to Denmark, and Braithwaite gets on the score sheet.
Wow. Absolutely.
What happens when you have a Barcelona forward in your team?
But again, another good move by Denmark. Good layoff by, I think it might be Cornelius.
Yeah, he's done really well.
Yeah, he's done good.
It's a good finish by Braithwaite. It's a lovely finish. And again, Ward can't get near that one. So 4 really well taken goals by Denmark.
Yeah.
Not only in the finishes, but the moves, like the build-up plays, have been excellent in all of them. And he's played well, Braithwaite. I think he deserved that one. But yeah, 4-0. I'll talk about emphatic.
Yeah, absolutely. Will we see a similar result in the next one?
Yeah. Well, that's got to be the 5 minutes. That's more than 5 minutes now.
This must be the biggest win of the tournament, isn't it?
I'm sure it is, yeah.
4-goal margin, yeah.
And there we are, full time. So yeah, Wales, emphatic win for Denmark. Wales 0, Denmark 4. Well, we thought there'd be goals, lads, but not necessarily 4 goals to one side. So
no.
But no, a very high quality game, especially from a Denmark point of view. So, Henry, do you want to say your thoughts on the 90 minutes overall?
I mean, I think it sort of was going how I predicted, but a bit further in terms of. I thought Wales would sort of have a huff and a puff. I obviously said that they might nick one with Bale in the team, but I think player for player, Denmark just have that extra quality over them, and with almost also the motivation after the whole Eriksen thing, and the way they beat Russia shows that they can score at will as well. So and they've just showed that against Wales, and they fully deserved it really. So I think Wales getting to that round sort of seemed about right. I don't like when you look at the other teams left in the tournament. There's not many you'd say they'd be better than or equal to. So I think it's sort of a fair representation of where Wales are, and I think well done to Denmark. They deserve to get through, and they really could actually be in big trouble for whoever they have to play next out of Holland and Czech Republic. Like 4 goals against Wales, who are good defensively, as well as a very defensively solid performance with that back three. If they get the first goal against anyone, they're really going to be tough to break down and beat. So Denmark could be, I don't like to say people are dark horses for things and put my neck on the line when they then get beat 3-0 by Holland, but like they could really be like, if they play like that, then there's no reason to think they couldn't do really well in the tournament.
There'll be a match for anyone if they play like that, and there won't be certainly won't be barking mad after that performance. So, your thoughts on that win for Denmark?
Yeah, really impressive. I didn't expect it to be quite as one-sided. You know, you look at Denmark's team; they're not necessarily world-class players, are they? But you know, they've all got that little bit more quality than Wales had, really, all over the park. Other than really Gareth Bale, and I don't really remember seeing Ramsey on my screen for 90 minutes, if I'm brutally honest. So I agree. Denmark, 4 goals in their last game, 4 goals today. Someone else wants to have a comment.
Pickle, be quiet.
8 goals in 180 minutes. Only 1 conceded. Like you say, probably Holland up next. So that would be where they're really tested, won't it? Because I think Wales are really only in the last 16 because of how bad Turkey were. You only needed to come in the top 3 of your group realistically to go through. And Denmark, after that horrible start of like you said, have got a really good momentum going. So yeah, I would expect Holland, Denmark in the next round, but we'll really see how strong this Denmark team are when they come up against Holland, who really are one of the strongest teams at the tournament for me.
Yeah, they proved that last couple of games in particular. No matter who they play against, Netherlands or Czech, will probably be a hard game for whoever they
absolutely
from that side, whoever play against Denmark. So, your thoughts, Wiz, on that match overall?
Yeah, not quite as many goals as I wanted, and certainly not as many for Wales. But I think, there's no argument with the result. There's a clear golfing quality. I don't know if Wales were set up in the optimal way to get the most out of their players. But yeah, you can't have any complaints. I think what was spoken about by you guys before the game in terms of the disparity, you go and look who the Danish players play for, that's told completely. And you see it on the quality in the first goal, quality in the last goal as well. The one-touch part-through ball for the guy to finish on the last goal. Yeah, they've lacked quality, Wales. You sometimes think in these tournaments that, they can be canny and they can use their low block and their defensive setup and negating the other team, muddying the midfield up and rely on Bale. But that just hasn't been enough today. And when you get into the business end of tournaments, that is when the kind of wheat is separated from the chaff, I suppose. It's a bit tough on Wales, but yeah, they've not shown enough today. They don't have enough quality, and the quality they haven't used adequately today. So there can't be any complaints. And as everyone else has said, the Danes just look like they're getting better and better. They should have beat Belgium. They were the better side there. They're comprehensive against Russia. So, yeah, another comprehensive victory. And I think that the Dutch, if they get through, should be scared of them.
No, definitely. I think I agree with everything you said, lads. I think, Denmark, throughout, 1 to 11 were all very good. They attacked very well. 4 goals to 0 doesn't flatter them whatsoever. And defensively, they were excellent. And Wales, I think, I expect them to certainly create more today. They barely created anything of any note. Had a few half chances and crossing into the box, but no real chances where Cassius Marco had to pull off any saves of any note. And it was just in the end a flat performance from Wales. I think they've been pretty solid throughout the tournament defensively, but they were exposed today. Made some mistakes which they haven't really made. And Denmark's quality in the final third, especially Dolberg, who wasn't even meant to be playing today, but he's come in and scored 2 goals and proved to be the match winner. So whoever Denmark play, whether it's Netherlands or Czech Republic, they'll be in for a very tough game. And we've all mentioned it that they're getting better as the tournament goes on, and they're peaking at the right times, which obviously as a nation you want to do as you get further on in these tournaments. 4-0. It does seem harsh on the outset, but I mean I think they comfortably were the better side.
Yeah.
Wales in the first 20 minutes, you probably say were better, but didn't score. And then I think Denmark just kept them at arm's length throughout the rest of the match, I'd say.
Yeah, pretty comfortable, weren't they? Very well worth their win. And once they got that second goal, for me, that was game over.
Especially so early on in the second half as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long way back from there, wasn't it?
No, 100%. So, we all thought there'd be goals, but not necessarily all to one team. But anything else you guys want to touch up on before we finish off?
I just want to say thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. I've not done a watch along before, obviously for being a little bit behind, but I still enjoyed it. And it's nice to meet all 3 of you as well. Really enjoyed coming on.
Yeah, no worries.
It's been fun.
No worries. Well, thanks guys for joining, and thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to Gash Football if you're new, and follow us on the socials, and like this video if you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.